What's speciality in Wimaladharma Sons is we have over 30 brands in one location. Hard work beats talent, and also smart work can also beat hard. Trying to keep myself fit because my mental health, my physical health is very important for us to grow as a team. I'm learning things every day. I've set my business, the family business, as number one and working around it. So we have washers here and we have also clothing upstairs. So we are mainly into delivery. I have a brand called Black or White which I started. So that is also operating in Pitakote, the Kote showroom, and also in Wattala showroom. Focusing is mid-level market. So for an example, for a price range of 30,000 to up to 150,000 is what we are focusing. What's speciality in Wimaladharma Sons is we have over 30 brands in one location. So that is one specialty. We had only about 5 to 6 brands, and we were always focused on Japanese brands and reliability of Japanese brands, but not Swiss brands and designer brands. So what we did in 2024, the change is we evolved from Japanese brands while we have the respect and the reliability is there for Japanese brands. So we moved on to designer brands with the global trends, and then we moved on to Swiss brands which were always there. We wanted to have an experience for the customers where they have all the segments for entry level, for mid level, and also for the entry level luxury as well. That is the specialty you can find. You can find 30 brands in one location in any of our showrooms. Apart from the 80 years of trust, reliability, and generational bond that we have with our customers. One thing I really believe is if you are to do something, you have to be passionate about it. And for that, our family is really passionate about watches. So that will never die. So in 2009, that was the right time for Sri Lanka to open up to the economy, because 30 years of civil war ended and the new brands started coming in, not just watches, for all the other segments as well. It was the right time also for us to approach designer brands that was globally trending. We took that chance and we approached many of the brands, and they also wanted to join with us, and we got designer brands into our section, and we expanded our brand portfolio from 6 to up to 30 brands that we have right now. So if you take our main branch, we have close to 40 brands. But in this Wattala branch that we are in right now, we have 30 brands. Wattala and Negombo is always a location that we always wanted to try in, so we waited for the right time. And there was huge demand from customers around this area. And one thing we noticed from our online orders, there were a lot of orders from Wattala and Negombo area as well. So we wanted to find a good location, and that's when we found the right location. We thought, yes, we will open a showroom in Wattala. All these brands, every single unit, we do not order through an Excel sheet or anything. We specifically visit our suppliers and we just handpick. We feel it and we experience the watch, and then only we place our orders. That's a specialty with us. At least once a year we visit our suppliers, our principals, and we physically check all these models, their specs, and how it feels and how the finish is. So that's how the models are quite different. If you can see, the dials, colors, strap colors are quite different. It's not just a watch, not just representation of the brand, but the premium top grade models which are going to all the European markets are the same watches that we have in Sri Lanka. It is under Wimaladharma Sons, but it's a separate company. It's called Black or White. So it's a concept that we created. This is about 3 years now. So we've already reached around 20,000 followers, and we have a specific segment. We only do black and white colors. Our skirts, our frocks are very famous among the ladies in Sri Lanka. So we cater depending on their demand. I always wanted to start new ventures and explore new fields apart from watches. I always had this unique idea. I myself is someone who wears black and white all the time. I really love those two colors, monochrome colors. I thought, why not focus on these two colors? There are a lot of questions in the beginning. A lot of people ask me why you are just limiting yourself for these two colors. But what I see is there's a whole range of products that you can explore within those two colors. So that is why we wanted to start black or white. This is the only color themed clothing store in Sri Lanka as well. Online sales, we have a very good demand. That is the reason that I wanted to start. For 6 months, we reached 6K when it comes to followers, and there were a lot of following for us. And we were mostly focusing on online. We are developing our own retail store in Colombo 5. So our focus is to be ready for that by 2027. We do have pop-up stores or locations like this in Wattala and also in Pitakote. But our main idea is to have that brand into that standard that we are expecting by 2027, so then we can have our own store that will look authentic and also look unique in its own. We are quite a small family when it comes to business decisions, and my parents, I have to say, very proactive, and they're very modern, and they would take more risks than me sometimes, and yes, calculated risks, but that is something that always been encouraging for me as well. To, you know, they always ask us to explore something else, just try these global trends, and they give us support. That is one blessing that I always have from both my parents. Both my parents, my mom and my dad, are into the business. They were the ones who were carrying from 1980s to up until 2000s this business, and they're still involved. So we opened our Gold showroom that is in Gold City Center. So we don't just bring the stock models or the models that are, you know, limited for Asian countries. These are mostly for European and the US region. The number one top sellers are what we have. Also, if you see that all these watches, all those watches have a different story to it. If you see the dial colors, the straps, these are all connected. One to one is connected. So that's how we pick. We take a lot of time to discuss with our suppliers and to have the best designs to Sri Lanka. And if it is not available for the territory, we specifically discuss and somehow meet our requirement with them. That's how these models are quite different from any other watch retail shop that you see in this area, not in Asia or in Sri Lanka. This is an industry, and also our business is connected to people's family and their values, because it is not just a watch that they buy. They buy a gift, they buy a memory. It could be their first watch after getting some good results or after an achievement. It could be the watch that they are wearing for their wedding. It could be their first watch after their first salary. So that speaks a lot. So that is connected to them, their lives. So that's why we are, you know, committed to provide the best after sales service and also the best models for our customers. So our main focus right now is building our head office. That's where, you know, we are planning to have our brain center and everything. I have 3 main projects that in my mind. So we have our own brand. For that we are doing some changes, and we are bringing something really refreshing and also a new product line for that brand. So we have black or white right now, and then we have our hospitality. We have a couple of villas as well we are running. So those two we are going to develop it now, and then we are developing our own tea brand, and we've successfully experimented for 6 months, and we are starting our second batch. In sports, I realized peace. Talent is really good, but hard work beats talent. Hard work always beats talent. And then once I got into the business, one thing I realized is hard work beats talent, and also smart work can also beat hard work. So in business, that is one thing that I also realized. So to be smart, to know which, you know, you don't necessarily have to be hardworking, but if you are smart, you can do it a little easier. So this is the newly planned head office for us, like the brain center that we are planning to built by end of this year. This will have 7 stories. This is like the first phase of it. And once we complete this, we will be moving on to the other side, which is towards that building. This we will have a brand new International Watch Experience Center right in the heart of Colombo. In 2023, we opened our Koti location, and in 2024, we moved to duty free. In 2025, we opened Wattala. In 2026, this year, we moved to Galle. So hopefully in 2027 and 2028, this will be our biggest project that we'll be focusing on. Yeah, this is our main branch in Colombo 5, but yeah, this is we'll be soon moving into our head office. That's the new location, and right now a lot of things need adjustments, but we are working in a little bit of a tight space. But yeah, this is the showroom, and here we have close to 40 brands. Say from Rado, Longines, Tissot, and Swiss military, Roma, both the Swiss military brands, Continental, Ever Swiss, and if you come further here, you can see the Japanese brand sector is here. But I have to say that this furniture is going to be changed in the near future with our plans, like I said before. And then we have designer brands towards this side. What is special in this location is the amount of watches you have. So that's no way that you can miss a design that you like. That is what we always wanted to do, and that is what we are doing. And if you see a counter, it's full of watches. And it might not look sometimes very appealing because there are certain brands that consider having few watches. But when it comes to customers' requirement, they have all the models that they require, that they come and ask for. So at least about 100 to 200 watches from each brand minimum that we have. So that is a specialty that we have.
I really love to travel, especially in and around Sri Lanka. And I love long drives, and I love to enjoy nature. So I really love history, reading about places that I go before I go there. It's very hard to find time to travel, but what I've done is I've always set goals where, I work for a specific time, keep traveling as one of my goals as well, just to relax, because it relaxes me. That's one way that I get a lot of ideas for your lifestyle and everything. You generate a lot of ideas when you travel alone, when you drive in a calm, cozy road. One location that, that international brands presence for, especially for watches, was not there. Authentic brands that has a touch of luxury and also affordable. This was not there in Galle. So past 5 years, I think there were a lot of inquiries, especially for designer brands that we have, and also for Swiss brands. We were always waiting for an opening, and we were looking for the best locations that we can be in. At the showroom opening, it was so nice. People coming to us and talking about the brands, and talking about how they were waiting Wimaladharma to be opened in Galle. It was such a nice feeling. It was very close to heart, and it was very touchy. And that is one experience that I will not forget. Yeah, this was my idea. Wanted to do a different sort of a billboard, and wanted to make it look like it's a bag that we are carrying. So this is a signature bag that we have in Wimaladharma Sons. This is the first time they've done a bag like this for a billboard. I've done a sport throughout my life, from maybe grade 1 itself. Started playing cricket, and then I did athletics, and my events were 100, 200 and long jump. So I represented school and then went to circuit meets, district, provincial meets, but then eventually had to choose cricket because that was my number one at school. And even after that, I think since we have played a sport throughout our life, it's very important for us to maintain that, to keep our fitness, and it is also good for your mental health as well. So coming to Gaul on a Sunday morning, and there are a few runs happening, and doing a run with these guys and at Gaul Fort is such a wonderful experience and also very refreshing. I would love to say that I'm balancing, but then there are things that I miss out as well. So what I always do is I have a key thing, which is my business, and what I always try to evaluate is if I'm to work really hard and if I'm to achieve things, what is the best mental state that I have to be in. So I take these things into consideration. So I always have thought, if I'm fit, if I'm enjoying my life, then I can be more productive. It's more than hard work, it's to be very smart in working as well. I'm learning things every day. I've set my business, the family business, as number one, and working around it and trying to keep myself fit. So this has not been finished because there's a lot of dust involved in doing this. So we are waiting for the showroom to be closed on the Poe day for us to do it. And there's some history wall coming up here, and those are the ones that we have to complete. Physical touch, you being present physically is very important. Sometimes you or the merchandising manager or someone who has the eye for it. Because different people are, they have expertise in different fields. So sometimes you might be doing sales, you might not be able to see the little mismatches or little errors that you have in the displays. There are few lights you can see have to be corrected. Yes, there is something wrong with the glue that they have used. So now I'm trying to get them to correct it today in the morning. I myself want to give a better experience every day. So we have been serving customers for years, and I'm the third generation. I want my generation to be the best. I want the experience that we give as the third generation to be best. So for me to fulfill that, I have a bigger responsibility because I'm coming after two generations. So they have provided an excellent service and I have to do better. So and I have to match with how the current world is going. So I have to go with the flow. And so number one is you need to love what you do. You need to be passionate. So I'm a watch lover. So I want to be the best watch experience center in the country and in Asia. So
That is what drives me. So I feel like if I do that, it is an achievement for myself as a personal achievement and also the business side. So every day being better, you will always get problems. You will always get issues and bad comments and constructive criticism. You have to get the right things. You have to absorb that, and you need to try to be better and learn from each and everything. So even if you do the right things, let's say, for an example, what we've encountered here is the lighting system. So right now we are not satisfied with the lighting system, but even if we had the good lighting system, it might not be the best. In about 2 years' time, you might have to replace it. So evolving constantly and going with the trend and going with how the world goes and evolving is the best thing. So, and to be passionate about it.